everyone, in today's video I will show you my quiz program in C programming language that I have lately prepared. It's not the hardest one, but it's definitely a funny one. So let's launch the program and see how it works. As you can see, you need to answer 3 questions correctly in order to win. We have 3 options: start now, history, and leave the program. Let's try the first option, start now. So the first questions appears. This time let's check what happens if we answer wrongly. So where was number? Let's say Italy. Wrong answer, so the program has ended and we need to launch it once again. This time, however, let's answer correctly all the questions. So name the longest river, the Nile. Who was the first president? USA, Washington, and where was Napoleon born? Corsica. Easy victory. So now the program asks for your name, then the surname and your country, because basically we will try to save all the data in our document. So let's say, for example, Alexander Gray, Russia. You have been added to our history. Make sure to check it out. So let's see the history. As you can see here, we have the list of all the winners with their respective country, and here Alexander Great, Russia. So our user's name has been added to our history. We can actually have a double check and we can see whether it has been added or not. So as you can see, Alexander Gray, Russia, it has been added, so it works. Let's jump back to the terminal. Do you want to leave? No. Jump back to the main menu, history option. So basically it's the same, but this time we will not get our data from the user, but we'll just print out the output of this file. Let's go back, and obviously the last option is the leave option, so the program will return 0. No issue, we'll close our program. So now I will show you the code of the program. We got the functions prototypes. Here we have the main function. As you can see, it's not the longest one, but I've tried to make it as short as possible and to use a lot of different functions. During the program you will notice that I've used a lot of pointers as well. You can probably write the code in 100% in a million different ways, maybe even without pointers, but for the purpose of learning I decided to use a lot of them. So let's check the program. We have the void welcome function. Basically in this function we have just a bunch of printfs where we got the welcome text inside. We got the same with goodbye, we got printfs with the goodbye text, and in this function we will get from the user the decision whether he wants to launch the quiz, check the history, or to leave the program. I have declared and defined the clear function over there, which basically, according to your operating system, will clear the screen. So for Linux, Unix, and Apple, there is system clear, and for Windows, system CLS. We have the quiz function. It's basically almost everything in a while loop. We have declared and defined wins to 0. So as long as we don't reach 3 wins, we will not win, obviously. And after we did, we'll jump out of the loop. We got the history function. In this function, we'll basically open the file, and we will just, as I've showed you before, I will just print out all the content of the file, the names and the respective countries of our winners. Here there's obviously at the end, if the user wants to leave the program, he can leave, or he can go back to the main menu. here's something interesting. We got the random number function, which basically generates a number between 1 and 10. And I've done it because I didn't want the questions to be always repeated, because when we launch the program once again and the first question is always the same, it's not funny. And you don't want the question to repeat also when you run the program, and you don't want the first and, for example, the third question to be the same. So that's, I think, a good idea to generate a random number. Here we have the date function, where we will print the date and the hour on the screen. We have the questions function. Here we have the switch function, where we have a pointer answer, which will receive the value from the question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 functions. These functions will return 1 if the answer from the user is correct, and 0 if it's not. If it's 1, then inside our while loop, the wins will increment. So here we have the win function. When you answered 3 questions correctly, then you will take from the user his name, surname, and country, and you will put it, after you open the file, you will put it inside with the fscanf function. fprintf function. At the end, we have a lot of functions: question 1, question 2, question 3, where we have the questions, and if the answer is correct, then we'll return 1, otherwise leave from the program. So I think that's it. If you guys want the source code, make sure to check out my GitHub. There's a link in the description. And thank you a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.